Welcome to Sahaba Role Models, where we bring the legendary stories of the Sahaba into today's world. Our goal is to uncover the courage, wisdom, and faith of these incredible role models and show how their lives can guide us today. In this episode, we dive into the life of Zayd ibn Thabit, a young man who demonstrated remarkable dedication by undertaking the crucial task of recording and compiling the Quran. His early contributions serve as a powerful testament to the significant impact young people can have on the course of history. Today's youth, equipped with the power of technology and the pursuit of knowledge, have the potential to spearhead transformative movements in areas such as climate change, social justice, and technological innovation. Zayd's life story inspires young people to embrace their responsibilities with confidence and commitment, while also reminding them to find a balance between their personal and professional lives, much like Zayd did while fulfilling his duties and maintaining strong family ties. This balance is crucial for long-term well-being and sustainable success, allowing individuals to contribute meaningfully to society while nurturing fulfilling personal relationships.
Welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going to be kind of like looking into the story of Zayd ibn Thabit.
Okay.
And, you might not know the name right off the bat.
Right.
But what's amazing about him is that he really contributed a lot to early Islam.
Yeah, and especially in a way that I think a lot of people wouldn't expect, right? Like you think about early Islam and you think of all the,
Battles.
yeah, and the warriors.
Exactly. And here's this young man, Zayd, barely a teenager, who's like raring to go join the fight,
I can imagine.
but finds himself kind of drawn to this world of knowledge and scholarship.
It's interesting you say that because, yeah, you have the backdrop of the Hijra,
Right.
right?
This pivotal moment
Yeah.
when the Muslims migrated to Medina.
There's a lot going on then.
Oh, absolutely. There was this buzz in the air, anticipation, excitement, but also this underlying tension, right? Because battles like Badr and Uhud were on the horizon.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it.
And you can picture young Zayd right in the middle of all of this.
Oh, yeah. Just like brimming with energy, wanting to prove himself.
Absolutely. But he's told he's too young.
Isn't that interesting?
It is, and I think it's kind of a pivotal point in his life.
You think so?
I do, because instead of, getting disheartened or dwelling on what he couldn't do, he takes a different path.
And that path ends up being...
Well, it shapes his destiny, really, and in a way I think has an even greater impact
Wow.
than if he had, just gone and fought in those early battles.
That's amazing.
And I think his mother deserves a lot of credit here.
Really?
Oh, yeah, she was incredibly supportive.
Oh, wow.
She saw his potential, his eagerness to learn, and really encouraged him to channel that youthful energy into knowledge.
It's so interesting how things work out sometimes.
It is, right? It's almost like fate intervened,
Yeah.
guiding him toward this destiny that would have such a profound impact on the Muslim world.
And, it makes me think about Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
Yes.
Like he had this way of seeing the talents in people.
He did.
Right. He recognized something special in Zayd and entrusted him with this incredible task.
You're talking about learning Hebrew and Syriac.
Yes. I mean, just imagine
What a brilliant move.
this young man.
Right in the middle of all this turmoil and change, becoming a bridge between these different worlds.
Wow.
It speaks volumes about the emphasis on diplomacy and understanding, even in those challenging times.
Yeah. So he went from this warrior hopeful to a linguist.
A skilled linguist and a diplomat.
And that just shows that true strength can come from unexpected places.
Exactly. And that's just the start of his journey.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Wait till you hear about his role in preserving the Quran. That's where things get even more fascinating.
Oh, I can't wait to hear more about that.
We'll dive into that in the next part.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب.
So we left off with Zayd, right? Becoming this trusted scribe for Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
Yeah, carefully preserving those divine revelations.
But then what happens after Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, passes away?
Well, it's a whole new set of challenges for the Muslim community, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, you've lost your leader. You're figuring out how to move forward.
Absolutely. And in the midst of all this, there's this pressing need to make sure the Prophet's teachings are protected, are preserved.
And that's where Zayd steps in again, right?
In a big way.
Hmm.
The task of actually compiling the Quran, putting it all together into a single authoritative text, that falls to him.
Wow, what a responsibility.
It's a huge undertaking, especially when you think about the historical context.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, we're talking about the 7th century. Literacy wasn't widespread, and the Quran existed mostly as memorized verses and fragments written on, all sorts of materials.
Oh, I see, like pieces of a puzzle scattered everywhere.
Exactly, and not just any puzzle, right? This is the Word of God, sacred and inviolable to millions.
You've got parchment, bone, palm leaves, all with verses of the Quran, but written in different styles, different scripts.
Right. And each scribe might have had their own little quirks in their writing, so Zayd's team wasn't just collecting pieces, they were deciphering them, authenticating them.
Making sure every verse, every word, every little mark was correct and in its proper place.
Precisely. Talk about pressure.
So how did Zayd even approach such a complex task? Where do you even begin?
Well, thankfully, he had a deep understanding of the Quran. Having been a scribe for Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, he witnessed the revelation process firsthand.
Right, so he wasn't just matching words on a page.
He was piecing together a narrative, ensuring that the flow and the meaning were consistent.
But he didn't rely solely on his own knowledge, did he?
No. He knew the importance of community knowledge. He sought out those who had memorized the Quran during the Prophet's lifetime.
So their recitations became another layer of verification.
Exactly. Cross-referencing, confirming, a real collaborative effort. It wasn't just one man's job. It was a community effort to preserve the Quran.
It's a beautiful image, a collective effort to safeguard something so sacred. But I imagine there must have been disagreements along the way.
Oh, absolutely. You have human memory, different dialects, different writing styles, variations were bound to pop up.
So how did they handle those sensitive situations?
Well, Zayd was known for his fairness and his meticulousness.
So he acted as a mediator.
He did. He'd consider different viewpoints and try to find a consensus. And when that wasn't possible, he'd rely on the most reliable chains of transmission.
So tracing it back to those closest to Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
Exactly. It was scholarly rigor and spiritual sensitivity combined.
Laying the groundwork for how we understand the Quran even today.
Right. It's amazing how that system, the one they developed back then, has stood the test of time.
I mean, the Quran, the version Zayd helped to compile, it's the standard text for Muslims worldwide.
A testament to the care and precision of their work.
He was more than a scribe, he was an architect, laying the foundation for the Quran's transmission across centuries.
Beautifully put. And what's even more remarkable is that he didn't confine himself to just scholarship.
He was a warrior, a husband, a father.
A well-rounded individual showing that faith, knowledge, and worldly success aren't mutually exclusive.
Like he was saying, hey, you can excel in different parts of life without compromising your faith or your love of learning.
Exactly. It's an important message for us today, don't you think? We don't have to choose between spirituality and worldly pursuits. We can strive for excellence in all aspects of our lives.
It's a really powerful message. But his story doesn't end there, does it?
No, it doesn't. In the next part, we'll look at the lasting impact of Zayd's work, how it continues to shape the Muslim world, and what lessons we can learn from his journey.
إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتات والصادقين والصادقات والصابرين والصابرات والخاشعين والخاشعات والمتصدقين والمتصدقات والصائمين والصائمات والحافظين فروجهم والحافظات والذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات أعد الله لهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما.
All right, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into Zayd ibn Thabit's life.
Really incredible story so far.
Yeah, we've seen him go from wanting to be a warrior
Right.
to becoming this key figure in preserving the Quran.
Absolutely.
And even becoming a bridge between communities through his language skills.
It's amazing how much one person can accomplish.
It is. So let's talk about his legacy.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of impact did his work have over the centuries?
Well, I think the most obvious impact is the standardized Quran.
Right, the one he helped create.
Exactly. It became like the master copy for countless others that were made and spread throughout the Muslim world.
Kind of like a ripple effect of knowledge and faith.
I like that analogy. It really captures the essence of it.
So basically, no matter where Muslims were or what their background was.
They had access to a consistent and reliable version of the Quran.
Which I imagine helped to create a sense of unity.
Absolutely. A shared text brings people together. It gives them a sense of belonging to something larger than themselves.
And that unity, in turn, probably helped Islamic scholarship to flourish.
Oh, absolutely. When you have a common ground, a shared understanding, it makes it easier to engage in meaningful discussions and debates.
It's amazing how it all connects.
And, it wasn't just about preserving the words themselves.
Right, there had to be meaning behind them.
Exactly. Zayd's legacy goes beyond just textual preservation. He was a teacher and interpreter.
So he helped people understand the Quran.
Yes, he helped shape the way we study and interpret it even today.
Wow. That's incredible to think about.
It really is, and his knowledge of Hebrew and Syriac was also crucial.
Right, because he could understand Jewish and Christian scriptures?
Exactly. He could move between these different religious traditions and foster dialogue and understanding.
It's like he was a pioneer of interfaith harmony.
In a way, he was way ahead of his time.
And that's a message that's so relevant today.
Absolutely. In a world where there's so much division and misinformation.
It's inspiring to see someone like Zayd.
Who sought knowledge, who bridged divides, who embraced diverse perspectives.
And let's not forget his balanced approach to life.
Right. He was a warrior, a scholar, a husband, a father.
He showed that you can be successful in different areas of life without compromising your faith.
And he was a great example of holistic living, integrating spirituality, intellectual growth, family, and community.
It's a message that we can all learn from.
To strive for excellence in all aspects of our lives.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have Zayd ibn Thabit's life was truly remarkable.
And his story is a testament to the power of one person to make a difference.
A difference that continues to be felt centuries later.
So if you're interested in learning more about Zayd or other inspiring figures from early Islam,
check out the Sahaba Role Models YouTube channel.
It's a great resource for anyone who wants to delve deeper into Islamic history.
And until next time, keep seeking knowledge, keep questioning, keep exploring.
Because the stories of those who came before us,
They can guide us.
they can challenge us
And they can inspire us.
to live lives that are meaningful and impactful.
طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة مرحبا يا خير داع ما شاء الله we did it الحمد لله ما شاء بارك الله فيكم